This week we're continuing on in the book of Deuteronomy, Parashat Re'eh. And in it, Moses is telling the Jewish people all the things they need to know before they go into the land of Israel. They will no longer be in the desert with all the overt miracles, and they will have to learn how to live without that overt and obvious connection they have with God. And one of the things Moses is telling them over and over and over again is not to forget God. So in this week's Torah portion, he says to them, you are the children of God. And then he goes on to tell them not to make a bald spot, to pull out your hair, and not to cut yourself when you lose a loved one, when you are bereaved and you are grieving, not to diminish yourself. Rabbi Shamshon Raphael Hirsch suggests that these practices of pulling out your hair and cutting yourself when faced with a massive loss indicate that you are diminished by the loss of your loved one, and that we, the Jewish people, are not to do that. Yes, we grieve, and yes, we feel sad and we mourn because we have loved. But when we lose people and their souls go into the spiritual realms, that's their journey. But our journey of the living, we still have work to do. We still have a mission. We still have meaning. We still have purpose. And we're still part of the divine plan, even if it doesn't feel good, and even if we don't understand it, which we won't in this lifetime. So when we grieve and when we are bereaved, when we lose the people we love, yes to grieve and yes to cry. And Moses is telling the people, don't forget God. And know that your primary relationship is with God. That is the foundation of our relationship, is with God. So when we have that as our foundation, we can weather the storms of life. It will not be easy. And like the saying goes, there are no atheists in a foxhole, because when hard things and difficult things come our way, we know that we have God to rely on, and God to cry to, and God to be angry with, and God to help us, and God to save us. And that relationship that we have with God is one that we must work on our entire lives, through the ups and downs of our lives. We're coming up to the month of Elul, where we are taught that God is closer than other months. I don't really know what that means, but it means that we must continue to work out this lifetime service of figuring and trying to and having a really meaningful and foundational relationship with God. And that's what Moses is teaching the Jewish people, to have that. So yes, we mourn, and yes, we lose, and yes, we grieve, but let's recognize that the foundation of our capacity to live fully in this world is knowing that we have a relationship with God and that we are his children.